Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about stuff in K-pop I hate. This video isn't going to be as positive as my others, so unless you're prepared for negativity, I'd recommend clicking off before you leave a rude comment because you disagree and aren't in the mood to hear differing opinions. Now that's done with, let's start. Now this could go for pretty much anything that has a fandom, but this is specifically K-pop fandom culture. I hate the parasocial relationships some fans have with idols. The type of relationship that makes fans think they can criticize idols' weights, the type that make fans think they can say anything about idols without repercussions, and more. I'll give some examples. Fans who think they can comment on their idols' bodies simply because they're a fan of them, and fans who will say very sexual things about idols. They think just because they like these idols, they can say and do whatever they want. Fandom culture also comes from the antis. The antis who will happily post horrific insults and threats towards idols they don't like with a lack of care for their mental health. Fandom culture in K-pop is by far the worst, and I hate how fans claim other fandoms are worse. No, they fucking aren't. K-pop fandom culture isn't just toxicity between fans, it's also straight up bullying idols. This one is something I hope everyone hates. It makes me so sad to see companies forcing their idols to practice all day without caring for their mental and physical health. They won't get enough sleep due to tight schedule. They will be put on extremely strict and life-threatening diets to keep up their visuals, and they won't have much of a social life outside their staff and members. They will be criticized about everything, their body, their talents, anything the company can criticize, which is damaging to anyone's mental health. As for the fans, I mean the fans who will complain about lack of comebacks and would prefer their idols produce music rather than taking a break to properly care for themselves and do normal things like take trips and see their families. You can't claim to be a fan of a group or idol if you don't care about them as a person. If you want them to constantly put out music, you're a fan of their music, not them as a person. You constantly see idols do and say insensitive and downright offensive stuff every other day. Yet more times than not, these idols will not have consequences. They will be talked about for a week or so, then everyone will move on because something else more recent happened. And this is why idols never learn, because the companies and fans simply don't care. We still have famous idols in the industry who have been accused of sexual assault and pedophilia. We still have famous idols in the industry who have been filmed saying or doing something racist, homophobic, transphobic, ableist, misogynistic, anti-Semitic, and many other awful things. Yet idols like Sujin and Garam get kicked out and publicly ridiculed for bullying accusations which were proved to be false. Fans need to start holding these idols accountable or even boycotting them, anything to make these idols and companies learn that we will not stand for this. It is not acceptable. The amount of times fans are casually racist, misogynistic, homophobic, etc. towards idols is insane. It goes from mocking idols' pronunciations/accents, to bullying female idols for something people praise male idols for. It is vile. If a female idol acts cute, fans act like the world's ending, yet if a male idol acts cute, fans will freak out and coo over them. Fans will call idols gay in a negative way, or call idols transgender, which is also rooted in racism because most the time they're being called transgender because of their ethnic features. Fans will preach for inclusivity in K-pop, yet hate on idols like Soraya, Envy, and Fatu of Black Swan, who are black, mixed and Indian, and ignore gay idols like Holland and a fully queer K-pop group like Chi.X. When they say they want inclusivity, what they mean is more East Asian idols who aren't from Korea itself, and idols who will queer bait to the point fans can live in a delusion that these idols are actually queer. This one is not an attack on specific stylists, as some are amazing, but sometimes I just hate stylist choices. For example, certain idols being forced to dress more revealing to the point it's uncomfortable for them to dance or restricts their dancing ability, and on the other end, dressing idols extremely covered up because of the ridiculous opinion that they are overweight when they're actually an average weight. I also hate how either oblivious or offensive stylists can be. I'll use a recent situation to explain. So I'm sure we all know of the Chaeyoung shirt situations where she recently wore two offensive shirts. One was her own and her complete fault. The stylist cannot be blamed for Chaeyoung's personal wardrobe. So I'm not talking about the Swatsika shirt, I'm talking about the QAnon shirt. That was a stylist choice. People suspect it's probably because of the American flag being on it, but that changes absolutely nothing. You cannot blindly put someone into a shirt which obviously has a meaning behind it without looking into it. The QAnon shirt could have been so easily avoided, but it wasn't. I hate how invasive paparazzi can be with any celebrity, but this is specifically about idols obviously. Recently, Moonbin sadly passed away, and due to this a lot of his idol friends have been flying in to pay their respects, and there's been many airport photos of idols obviously distraught over the death of a friend, and paparazzi, instead of giving them privacy to grieve, take photos of them. It's absolutely vile. We have seen videos of multiple paparazzi surrounding idols and flashing their cameras in their faces, and the idols are obviously extremely distressed because not only the fans are following them, the flashing of the cameras are overwhelming them further. Basically, have basic human respect for idols because they're people just like you who don't need their pictures taken 24/7. Whitewashing is a huge issue in Korea in general, especially their idols and actors/actresses, since they are some of the biggest celebrities. You will always find pictures of idols where they look extremely pale, then find an unedited version where their natural, more tan skin tone is shown. Or idols will be forced to lighten their skin with makeup, cream, etc. It's very sad to see these companies forcing their idols to do this instead of embracing their natural skin tone. I hate all beauty standards from all areas of the world, but it seems like the Korean public take it very seriously. Idols will be harassed, bullied, and ridiculed if they don't fit the beauty standards, and sometimes the companies will pay for plastic surgery for their idols to quote-unquote fix their appearance to fit the standards and avoid criticism from the public. An example of this is Chae-young from ITZY, who has been bothered about her visuals ever since she first appeared on Korean TV. Chae-young is absolutely gorgeous and doesn't deserve to be harassed by a bunch of nobodies who are pushing their insecurities and beauty standards onto her. There's multiple times Chae-young has spoken about how she doesn't think she's pretty, and it's heartbreaking, so if you ever said anything mean about her, you're an absolute loser. I will never understand the dating ban, and the roots of it is actually so disgusting. For anyone who doesn't know, the dating ban is around because companies want to keep this innocent image that their idols have so that fans will become obsessed with this fake innocence. It's based in racial stereotypes of East Asian people, especially women, being innocent/submissive, which for women is also misogynistic. Idols are people. They should never be forced to not date people who they love. And they certainly shouldn't be publicly humiliated when they announce they're dating someone. Lastly, we have the normalization of debuting minors. I find it very disturbing to see people younger than me debuting, and I'm only 16. The industry is known to have a long-lasting effect of idols in both positive and negative ways. Because of the strict rules of being an idol, these children are being introduced to the horrors of the industry. They're still growing, and the strict diets can mess with their growth, and they can easily develop an eating disorder. Some companies emotionally, mentally, and verbally abuse their idols, and they're also being forced into the public eye, where creepy people will sexualize them. It's so vile that fully grown adults are willing to take in these children and introduce them to such horrifying things. I doubt it will ever happen, but I hope that in a few years, minors aren't debuting as much as they currently are. At this point, most new idols/idol groups are minors. I hope they get the help they need, because as adults, they will need help. The industry is a dark, dark place that don't deserve to have this power over children. Okay, and that's all. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant, and if you disagreed, you can tell me in the comments, but stay respectful. Rude comments will be deleted. If you have anything to add on to my topics or want to add your own, you can say them too. My social medias are on the screen if anyone wants to follow me or be mutuals over there. It's greatly appreciated. Have a good day or night, wherever you are, and goodbye.